Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Juan. I'm a yarn addict, hence the name Juan the Yarn Addict, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by to check out my video today. This is a yarn and crochet channel where we talk about all things yarn and all things crochet, so if that interests you, please sit back and watch this video because today, my friends, I offer you another session of Whipping It with Juan. If you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome. I'm super happy that you found me. I hope you enjoy your stay here long enough to maybe hit the like button, consider subscribing if you're interested, and then of course hit that notification bell to stay updated with everything regarding me and my channel. This is Whipping It with Juan, and what this is a crochet session where we sit back, we talk about all the things while working on a work in progress, a whip. So my current whip, as you saw in the thumbnail, is this. This is my Annie M blanket. Let me just show you all the things. So this here is the moss stitch, and I've changed every single row with the new color. As you can see here, it's beautiful. It's all the things. And then I left the fringe on. I'm going to trim it all to be the same length when it's done, but that's what it's looking like right now. And so I believe I started this just a few days ago. I'm running two 4-weight yarns together, and I'm using a 10mm crochet hook. This one right here. Now the yarn that I'm using is Loops and Threads Soft Classic, and if you're familiar with what that is, it is a thick 4-weight yarn, and it works up beautifully together with a 10mm crochet hook. So let me just show you that very quickly. So I put all of the yarns into two whip baskets. Here's basket number 1, and here is basket number 2. So all of this will be worked up into this project, and so as I mentioned, I am changing colors every row, and it's working up very beautifully. Now, it's not as wide as I wanted it to be, but I think what I'm probably going to do, if I don't keep the fringe, because I'm still undecided if I'm being honest, I may trim the fringe and do like an envelope border and then frame it. We'll see. I want to see what this looks like when I have the full length. So anyway, let's get started with this Whipping It with Juan session. If you have a whip, feel free to grab it. If you don't want to work on a whip, by all means, just watch me crochet. It's perfect. I love it either way that you like it. So let me place you guys on a brief pause. Let me reorganize my yarn, and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so I am back. So full disclosure, a few hours have passed since the last take because I recorded an entire Whipping It with Juan session and it did not save. The only thing that saved was that very first clip that we just came out of. Everything else, brand new. All I can do is laugh about it at this point. I mean, the things we discussed, right? So all I can do now is try to remember everything that we talked about and take 2. So as of right now, I'm on the orange. So that's nice, right? I'm just going in order. I'm following the sequence of colors, and my hope is to have this blanket done and ready to go like as soon as possible. I do have other whips that I need to take care of, which I'll discuss with you in just a second, but this particular blanket here, I want to get done first because I want to put it on the couch. I want to have this blanket on the couch so that the current blanket can have some more work done to it. I think it's missing a border in my opinion. The blanket is beautiful. It's my mother's granny square blanket. It's 2 rounds per square. And I remember she made that in Philly, and it took so many squares, and it took her so long to make it. And she was so proud of the progress that she made, so much so that she forgot to put a border on it, which is fine because that means I get to put the border on it. And I don't mind it at all. So I'm going to take that blanket off the couch. I'm going to put this one on there, and I'm going to work on that blanket when I have time and put a solid border around the edges of that blanket. My mom has officially given all of that to me. Now, if you remember, I did a video showcasing that blanket, and that blanket comes in several parts. There's several parts to that blanket, and we could put it all together to make this super huge blanket, or I can break it into pieces to make different projects and things. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But the part that's currently on the couch will remain an actual blanket, and I'll put a border on it and everything. So that's the goal. And the nice thing about this, my friends, is it works up super fast. Thank goodness for this 10mm crochet hook. And this here, I believe, is clover. Is this clover? Yes, this is a clover 10mm crochet hook. And yeah, I mean, I love my prim hooks, but for some reason, I'm really liking this particular size, this particular hook. I'm not sure why. I think the size of the hook has something to do with it. The larger the hook, like 10mm, 11, 12, the longer the actual hook is. And so I'm finding myself really enjoying the thicker hooks of the Clover or Moors. Yeah. This is the perfect size for me. I love it. So I plan on making many things with this particular hook. Time to cut off the color. Let's just go ahead and take care of that. My Christmas scissors. These scissors have been in many tutorials. I love these scissors. I don't know why I love them. I just do. Maybe it's the holly. Who knows? So red, orange, and now yellow. Love that for us. Let's put the yellow on. We have spaghetti here. So this yellow is the only color of all of the colors that's not loops and threads. Now, I've discussed this in previous videos where with the Loops and Red Thread Soft Classic, the yellow just doesn't give me what I need it to give me. All of this back here, except these three. These three here are Red Heart. The top two are the two color choices that Loops and Threads offers in yellow. And to me, the top two rows there are not vibrant enough to put in a project like this. I need the yellow to pop. And so I opted for the Red Heart Super Saver in the yellow because of how vibrant it is. I just love it. It's so good. Now, I did a temperature blanket a couple years ago in hexagons, and I used the puff stitch. And all of the colors in that blanket were Red Heart Super Saver. And all of the colors were very vibrant, and it was beautiful. And then shortly after I did that project, I discovered Loops and Thread Soft Classic. Well, yeah, Loops and Thread Soft Classic. And so after that, it was a wrap. I love all the colorways except for their yellow. I mean, it's too dull for me. I don't understand why it can't be a vibrant yellow. But, you know, you can't have everything. If that's the only gripe I have about the yarn, then fine, you know? So, but everything else gives. I love every other colorway that Loops and Threads offers, and they offer quite a bit. So, love that for us. Anyway, I'm now on the yellow, and I don't know how many repeats I'm going to need to do of the color sequence. I'm literally just going until I get it to a height that I need it to go. I want it to be 6.5 feet long. or tall. I may just do 6 feet if I'm going to do a border. Honestly, I'm so indecisive right now, I don't know how far I'm going to go. I'm just going to do repeat after repeat after repeat until, you know, I go to look at it and then tell myself, okay, Juan, this is it, you're done. I think that's probably the best course of action at this point. So that's fine. I love that for us. Anyway, so whips, right? I have tons of whips on the hook, off the hook, in timeout, all the things. So I want to discuss the whips. And the reason why I want to discuss whips is because I have a personal goal to get rid of all of my whips before the end of June. It's a challenge that I'm doing for myself. I'm doing all of that on top of the content for my channel. It's quite the undertaking because I have started the Yarn Addict Stitch tutorial back up again. So that folder on my channel will now start, it's going to start growing again. I was doing it for a while back there in December, January-ish, I think. I took a pause on it to focus on other things, but now I'm bringing it back because I just need to build that library up. A lot of my members were asking about it, and in all honesty, I started the Yarn Addict Stitch Tutorial Academy situation just to have all of the stitches in one place for me, you know, and for my viewers and for my following. So yeah, there are many places where these stitches can be found. Many different takes on these stitches, but I'm doing it for my channel. It's my take, it's my way that I'm doing the stitches. Not that it's any different, but yeah, I just want the Yarn Addict Stitch Academy on my channel. So, created by yours truly. So someone asked me today, what stitches are you going to have in there, in the playlist? Like, what kind of stitches? I said all of them. I said all of them. You know, why have a playlist of stitches and not have all of them? So, yeah, if it's a stitch, it's going to be in there. It might take a long time to get all of the stitches in there, but that's okay. I love that for us. Excuse me. So, I'm going to do all of the basic stitches, all of the intermediate stitches. Also, too, if there is a stitch that you would like to see a tutorial on from yours truly, then just sound off in the comments. I will notate that. But just know, there won't be a stitch that I won't include. So everything is fair game. If it's a stitch, it will be added eventually. And there's that. So I'm challenging myself to see how many stitches I can include in that folder, you know? So I'm just making these short videos to teach you how to do those stitches, and you can always reference them on my channel for whatever you need it for. So yeah, I love doing them. They're lots of fun. So why not, you know? Okay, let me go ahead and cut this yellow off. Perfect. Next is green. Okay. Once I get into the flow of things, I notice that like once my baskets are in its place and I go through like one full complete rotation of colors, I won't have to worry about, you know, the spaghetti and all the things. Everything will be laying exactly how it should be. But I moved these to the studio from the squirrel's nest, and so I have some yarn barf that I'm dealing with at the moment. But that is okay. We're all used to yarn barf at this point. So it is fine. Okay, let me just frog this back. Get this in here. There we go. Okay, perfect. Slip that in there. Okay, this off. Okay, I'm glad you guys can see me. And I thought about this during the time that I recorded the last video and all the things. So the first take of this video, it talks about how I might trim the edges, I might do an envelope border. Well, a lot's happened since that conversation. So what I might do is tassel the sides here. I may add more yarn to these tassels to make it nice and thick and plump. So, case in point, like this particular situation here has the red and the orange. So I may add more red, more orange, and knot it down here to make a tassel. I might do that. I'm not sure. It seems like it's going to be a lot of work, and I'd rather just keep it simple. So if it's very labor intensive, I'm probably not going to do it, because there's no need to be extra with it. I mean, the detail is right here. This is the superstar of the show. All of this, you know. This is just the added bonus. So if I just trim it and it's all nice and even, then great for us. Keep it simple, right, friends? That's what we need to do. Keep these projects very simple. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but because the last video did not save, I'm probably going to do pauses in between takes and things, and just make sure that everything saves along the way, because I do not want to record another 45 to 50 minute WIPn It with Juan session and it not save. I mean, I don't like that for me, and I don't like that for you guys, right? So let me just go ahead and do this one stitch here. I'm going to do a pause and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So far, so good. I think what I need to do is get upgraded equipment. I mean, I've done 400, almost 400 videos with this camera, and maybe it's just outdated. Maybe it's time to upgrade the situation. I'm very frugal. Like, I'd rather buy yarn than buy a new camera. I don't know where my priorities are at this point. I mean, I have enough yarn, but you never have enough yarn. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I think. I'm like, can I buy some more yarn on sale, or should I just hold off and get a nice camera? Nope. Deals and steals. Let's get the yarn. So as a result, I have a faulty camera that doesn't save on occasion. I don't know. Maybe it's time to say, you know what, Juan, let's just get the camera so we don't have to re-record these sessions and things. So anyway, enough about that. So my whips. Okay, as I mentioned, or may not have mentioned, just in case, the goal for June is to get rid of all of my whips. Any and all whips that are in the squirrel's nest in the house need to be done by the end of June, because the month of July is my birthday month, and I will be working on my birthday blanket, and I have a few other projects in the pipeline. I'm actually looking at them. They're over there. They're completed projects waiting to be rolled out in July, and in order for me to properly do that, I need all of these whips taken care of. So yes, what whips are on the hook? So I have the 2 Moss Stitch in the Round projects. I have one with Red Heart Super Saver color blocking in the colorway Party Time. I actually have this one. I can show you very quickly. It's this one. So I need to finish this. I'm on the 3rd skein, and I think 5 skeins will complete this. So this won't take me long at all, because I'm using a 6.5mm crochet hook for that. I have a similar one using the colorway Favorite Stripe. So that one is 1 skein in. I have 4 skeins to go on that. I can finish both of those blankets in one weekend. if I'm not doing anything else, which is never the case. So, multiple weekends. After that, I have the all-in-one granny square project. I put it in timeout because I could not decide if I wanted to add another all-in-one granny colorway with it. I went out and got the lily pad colorway. Let me just show you. So this was the original project, okay? I have 45 of these completed, all right? So I thought to myself, do I want a whole blanket of the same thing throughout the entire thing? I couldn't decide for sure, so I went ahead and got a whole bunch of this to pair up with this. So I went ahead and did a whole skein of this, 15 of them to be exact, and I laid it all out in the dining room, and I didn't like how it looked. So I put it in timeout. I need to finish that. I need to come up with a decision and decide and stick with that decision. So the original plan, the original plan was to have all of the same colorway throughout the entire project. So since that was the original plan, I think I need to stick with that and allow lily pad to be its own thing. So I need to finish the Aran squares, keep that all one colorway and let that ride. The lily pad technically is not a WIP. I started that project thinking that it was going to be included in that project, but no. So lily pad will be placed in timeout. It will not be considered a WIP. What I would probably do is take the squares that I did finish and make a bag out of it. So just something behind the scenes to be able to say I finished all the squares for that particular project. I may even combine the squares that I have for the lily pad one, make a bag, and then add to that bag to make it look intentional and not like, okay, well, I took the last of whatever I had and threw it together, you know? Make it look like it was done on purpose that way. So that will clear up 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the other WIP that I have is the quarter panels. So I have 3 quarter panels done. I'm on the 4th one. Now, once I finish the 4th quarter panel, I will be able to join them together and then frame the entire thing. I'm going to frame it in the modern granny stitch or the block stitch, depending on how you call it. And I think what I'm going to do is use contrasting colors. I thought about using black for the single crochet chain 2 single crochet. I still may do that, but something is telling me to just continue using the scrap yarns. Just let the scrap yarn do its thing because I let the entire blanket do its thing. But I want to join the squares in a color. I don't know. See, I'm being indecisive. So I'm probably, if I join the squares in black, and then I frame it in black with the single crochet chain 2 single crochet, it will actually go together. It will make sense, like it's intentional. And then I will do the yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I had to talk that out with you guys. We had to discuss the things. All right, so next is blue. We're flying through the colors, friends. Flying through all the things. All right. So I have a feeling, this is just a hunch, I have a feeling that someone out there on the YouTube streets is going to see this blanket and say, hey, Juan, can I buy that from you? That's happened already with another blanket that I have been working on. The moss stitch in the round, the party time one that I just showed you. I've had 2 offers for that blanket. Now, I don't like to sell things. Like, I don't like yeah, I don't like charging people for my work. So I politely declined. I said, unfortunately, they're not for sale. I don't sell my work like that. Now, if it's in a mystery box with yarn and things and I include a make, that's different. But yeah, I have to get off of that kick because, you know, people are asking me to make things and I should allow myself the opportunity to do that. But for me, being able to give something to someone who likes what I'm doing, there's a reward in that that money can't buy. So, anyway, I have a feeling that someone somewhere will be like, hey, Juan, can I buy this blanket off of you? So, I don't know. I love this blanket. I may actually make a second one. Not for myself, but maybe to give away. We'll see. I've, I keep putting more work on myself, and I should not be doing that. We're caught somewhere, friends. This blue is not behaving. Okay. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Okay, we're better now. Okay. Anyway, I will tell you, blankets like this, you're doubling up the blanket, and you're making these stitches and things. It's a single crochet. It gets heavy, as you can see. I mean, it's hot. This is one of the things that I do not like about crocheting in warm weather, but I just have to get used to it. Because for one, I mean, I could put the central air on, and I will when Mom asks for it, but if she doesn't ask for it, then I'm not going to do it because she's very sensitive to the temperature. So, like, if I put the central air on and I set it to a temperature that I'm comfortable with, she may be, you know, sitting there like she's in a meat locker, you know, so I allow her to tell me what's best for her. So, yeah. In the meantime, I keep the windows open, I let the breeze just come in, and I make do. I don't know how she does it. She crochets in this weather, and I'm like this, just sweating and everything, and she's perfectly 100% content. I don't know how she does it, but more power to her. More power to her, you know? And even her blankets, like, she doesn't do those gargantuan blankets anymore. She makes, like, lap gans and things. Even with those, she's perfectly okay. I'm like, I love that for you. I don't know how you do that. Because me, I would need the AC on. I would need a nice fan blowing on me. And then I'm sitting here thinking, friends, it's only June. We still have July, August. I mean, warmer weather is coming, especially if you live in North America. We get that warm weather and that humidity, and it is just not the best feeling in the world. So we have to brace ourselves. I have a feeling that we're going to have a very warm warm summer, and the AC will need to be on in order to be comfortable. But we shall see. Who knows? The way the weather's been, anything is possible. So, anyway, with my goal having... Okay, let me rephrase that. So with my goal having to... No, I can't word that correctly. So, okay, my goal is to have all the WIPs done by the end of June. There you go. I have to plan out how much time I'm going to need for each one, and I have a feeling what I need to do is focus on the ones that I can get done, like, now. So this particular project that I'm working on is probably going to be the first one done. I think I need another few days. Another couple days, I'll be good with this. this will be done. And then once this is done, I will work on the moss stitch in the round. I'll finish the one that I'm on the third skein, the party time colorway. And then after that, I will work on the quarter panels, because I only have the one quarter panel left to go. I'll knock that out, join it, frame it, do all of that. And then I will jump back to party stripes, get that taken care of. And again, we're discussing potential WIPn It with Juan sessions. Like, let's get these whips done. I'm not going to introduce new projects, I don't think, for these WIPn It with Juan sessions. So to keep things interesting, what I'm probably going to do is open it up to a Q&A, or I will come with a pre-planned conversation that, may pique people's interest. We shall see. If there's any particular topic you would like me to talk about during the WIPn It with Juan sessions, sound off in the comments. Some of the best ideas have come from my viewers in the comments. So, by all means, let me know what you would like to hear about. If you have any questions you want me to discuss or talk about, any topics that you find interesting that you want my take on, feel free to sound off. I will tell you all the things. I'll tell you all the things. Okay. I'm loving how this is looking. Loving this for us. Okay. And I know I said this like a million times already, but I love this fat hook. It makes fat stitches, and it goes so fast. One of my official yarn addicts, during a Zoom call, went into detail. She was doing a blanket with Sutherland stripes and lily pad together, 2 strands, and she was using a 10mm crochet hook, and she was flying like you would not believe. I'm like, how are you getting that blanket done so fast? And then she went like this, fat hook, fat stitches. I'm like, I love that. I'm like, I am taking that whole situation. Like, I love the vibe of that. I'm gonna run with that. So I've been on the kick ever since she showed me her hook and her project, which was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I love it. So I'm on this fat hook kick for now, at least until I can finish my projects, get all of this done here. I have, like I mentioned, some other projects that I want to roll out, and I'm super excited about that. But in order for me to actually jump onto those projects, I can't rightfully say, okay, let's go ahead and start a new chapter of a situation when I have all this sitting here. So once these are done, I'm going to clear out this whole area, which underneath here we have whip baskets and yarn and things. So I'll be able to free up the space for more whip baskets. Now, for the summertime, I have, like I mentioned, the birthday blanket that I'm working on. I am using Red Heart with Love in the colorway Fruit Punch. And I am going to be pairing that up with the actual colorways that are embedded in that yarn. At least the ones that I can find, because it is a vintage variegated yarn that is no longer being made. So whatever colorways that are available that go with that yarn is what I'm going to be using. I don't know of a pattern just yet. I may do something like this just because I love it so much. I may do a moss stitch in the round and do like a queen size blanket, because although Red Heart with Love is a 4-weight yarn, it is a thick 4-weight yarn. Thicker than this. It could almost be a thin 5. So the hook suggestion for that yarn is a 6.5mm crochet hook for just 1 strand. So I could probably run 2 together. I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I could run 2 together and jump to a 12mm crochet hook because of how thick that yarn is. I'm not going to do that though. I'm going to keep it at one strand because each ball or skein is only 160 yards, so it's not much. I do have about 20 of them, so yeah, that's roughly 2,500 yards. So I will go through that very quickly, which is why I do need those tie-in colors, and hopefully I'm able to locate these other colors or something comparable. So yeah, there's that. There are some projects that I have decided to not go any further with, and one of them is that blanket yarn that I showcased on one of the WIPn It with Juan sessions, where I did the green, the orange, and the blue. It's a no-go for me, friends. I just don't care for it. I'm going to save the blanket yarn and use it for an amigurumi or two or three. I just don't find it appealing in any way, shape, or form. I thought that it was going to look nice, but no, it doesn't look nice at all. I mean, it is the University of Florida colors, go Gators, but not for a blanket, friends. It's not giving me what I need it to give me. And I know there were people that were being very kind in the comments. They were like, nice job, Juan. But you and I both know that when you secretly looked at it, you were like, you should have picked other colors, Juan. And I should have, but I didn't. I failed. I failed all of us on that. It's okay. We live and we learn. C'est la vie. Okay. So, all right. The next colorway here is going to be white, but before I put the white on, I'm going to pause this again, save the progress, and move forward. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, friends. So I am back. We are back, and it's saved. I'm so happy, and I have the new color on, so I put on the white. Love that for us. So I had quite a few people ask me some questions, questions that I've been avoiding. Yes, friends, there are questions that I do tend to avoid, and one of the questions that I was asked throughout my journey on YouTube is, Juan, why do you use all the things all the time? Okay, well, I would always ignore this question because for some reason I always thought that when people ask that, they're just being facetious, But no, for some reason I decided to respond this one time, and I'm like, well, I actually got it from a TV show, and I've been using it at the day job for years. And my employees and my assistant managers and everyone in the buildings that I've worked in all know me for using all the things, because when I explain my expectations, or I explain policies and procedures, or I explain anything really, I'm always asked questions after the fact of things that I just explained. Like, I just went into detail about A, B, and C, and here you are asking me about A, B, and C. So I would always say, well, everything that I just discussed was all the things. Everything was all the things. It's right there, okay? And so what part of all the things did you need me to cover? And it was just part of the dialogue that I've always used. And so here I come onto the YouTube streets, and in the beginning I was completely nervous. I had public speaking in college. It's different when you're physically speaking in front of people versus looking at a camera. You don't really know who's sitting on the other side of the camera, so that whole part of me not knowing is what had me really nervous. And my vocabulary shifted in the beginning, where I wasn't using a lot of the verbiage that I currently use because I really wasn't comfortable in the unknown. And 8 months in now, it's like we're all family. The way you see me now is the way I am all day, every day. This is who I am at work, during the day job, here with the channel and all the members, on the weekends on Zoom, it's pretty consistent, you know. The only time that you'll notice a change is when I'm in unfamiliar territory, and you'll see it, you know. And if you're not sure what that looks like, go to my very first video. A lot of people have seen that video, and it's very cringy. But, you know, it was me coming on for the very first time, talking to a camera that I've never done that before, ever. Talk to a camera, and no one was watching. So, you know, being on Zoom is different because you can see who you're speaking to. So I was good with that. But speaking to the unknown, I was not sure about that at all. You know, but now it's second nature. I'm completely okay with it. I pretend like there's 55 people watching me right now, live, even though there really isn't anyone. I'm okay with it. So, anyway, there's that. So, I use all the things. But I say all that to say, I don't own the words. I don't own the words. Everyone can say all the things all day, every day. Now, what I was trying to do was to get merch, all the things with my channel name and all that, which I can do, and I may still do that, but it shouldn't deter anyone from using those words. And for a while there, I actually was like, no one, please, no, and see, I was wrong for that, because that's like, you know, I don't have copyright licensing on any particular words. So, you know, lesson learned. And I think that everyone should use whatever words they want to use, because it's all the things. So, there's that. I will tell you guys that since I do use it so much, when some people say it in certain circles, they may be like, you sound like Juan. That's okay, I love that for you, right? It's fun. It's all the things. And the other thing, too, that's coming to pass right now is it's for the house. We love projects for the house, you know? Sometimes projects for the house are the most beautiful projects you've ever seen in your whole life that you don't want leaving your house. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a poorly made project or anything like that. It could mean it's something so spectacular that you don't want anything to happen to it, so it doesn't leave the house, you know? So everything is a double-edged sword, my friends. You have to think about it like that as well. So, yeah. For me, it's a little bit of both. Sometimes I don't feel like sewing in my ends. It's for the house. And then sometimes I make complete masterpieces and I don't want it to leave the house. Like my corner-to-corner blanket that I made with the Heather's yarn, which I should showcase sometime soon. I showcased that early on in my journey here. I completed it before I started my channel. And it took me 3 months to make. I used a 5mm crochet hook and a lot of yarn. A lot of yarn. So I cherish that blanket. It's actually on my bed now. But I may show you guys one of these days. Again, it's beautiful, corner to corner. So anyway, I don't know how many repeats this is going to need. I think what I'm going to do is just continue on until it gets long enough so that it's my height, and then I will call it reps at that point. So I think I am about 3 feet. Yeah, I'm about 3 feet in. Yeah, about, maybe almost 3 feet, which isn't bad. I may just go to 6 feet. You know what I need to do? I need to go as far as this yarn will let me. That's a good indicator. You know, I have 2 skeins of every colorway that I'm running together. So it's almost like it's like one skein. So once the skein of twins runs out, we're good. There you go. That's the best way to put it. Love that for us. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this row and then we will call it a wrap. We talked about a lot of things on this session, which is great for us, you know. Let's see. So, I'll tell you all the things while I finish up this row. So if you like this video, please give it a like. It lets me know that you're interested in these kinds of videos and things, and from watching past videos, I have a little bit of an inkling of an idea that you guys enjoy these. So if you do, give it a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. If you're watching me and you're not subscribed and you kind of like this, well, there's tons of other things on my channel. I do WIPn It with wands, I do caking videos, I take scrap balls of yarn and I make scrap cakes. What else do? I do lots of tutorials. During the winter time, I pumped out a lot of tutorials, and I'm getting back into making stitch tutorials again, so that's going to be there. I do lots of things. I go live with my mother on Sundays. I do midweek pop-ups. So if that's your thing, give me a chance. Subscribe to my channel. And then turn those notifications on to stay updated with everything regarding me and my channel. For some reason, every now and then, like, the notifications get turned off. And my subscribers aren't made aware of, like, the pop-ups and things. At least that's what I'm being told. So if that's the case, let me just put a call out to the YouTube streets. You know, just make sure that those notifications are on so you know when I'm coming live and things. So, yeah, this was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed this. And I look forward to more WIPn It with Juan sessions. Now, just a reminder, the ones for the month of June will literally be the ones that you've seen. I'm just going to bring some more dialogue and talking and all the things, but the goal is to knock all of these out before the end of June. So hopefully you guys can help me, help us do all of that. Keep me company while I work on my whips, and I'll keep you company while you work on yours. But who knows, maybe you're not working on a whip. Maybe you're just sitting there watching me, and that's okay. I love that for us. Anyway, my friends, I really enjoy our time together. I'm so happy that I'm able to do this with you. So yes, that is it for now. Again, don't forget the like, subscribe, the bell, all the things, okay? So that is it. This is where we are at. So nice. Okay, so that is it for now. And until the next one, friends, I'll see ya. Take care. Bye.